Welcome to Real English Voices, the podcast where you learn English the natural way.
Hey, we are Tom and Ria. Welcome to Real English Voices for English Learners.
Hello, everyone. It's great you could join us today.
So today we're going to talk about something really basic, but, well, super important for anyone learning English.
Absolutely. It's all about how to talk about yourself.
Yeah, how you introduce yourself. Because, you need these words and phrases pretty much everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm. Like every time you meet someone new.
Or maybe you're trying to make friends, or if you go traveling somewhere.
Or even starting a new job. It's often like the very first conversation you have.
Exactly. So our goal today is pretty straightforward. We want to give you some simple, really useful phrases, patterns you can learn and use again and again.
And we'll give you lots of examples, too, so you can hear how they sound and how to use them.
And one thing we really hope you'll do is listen and then repeat after us out loud. It's called shadowing.
Yeah, shadowing is fantastic for practice. It helps make the language feel more, natural to you.
Makes it part of you, so you don't have to think so hard when you speak.
Okay, sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
So where do we begin?
Well, the first thing people usually share, it's got to be your name, right? That's step one.
Definitely. Your name is like the key to starting any conversation.
And there are a couple of really common, easy ways to say your name in English. We'll look at two main patterns.
Okay, so the first one is maybe a little more formal. You might use it in, say, a job interview or a more serious situation.
Right. And that pattern is, my name is name.
So, for example, I could say, my name is Becky. It's very clear, very complete.
My name is Becky. Got it.
Simple.
But there's another way, right? Maybe more common.
Yeah, much more common, especially in casual, everyday situations, like meeting people at a party or, just chatting.
And that one is?
You just say, I'm name.
Shorter.
Much shorter, yeah. So using the same example, I'm Becky.
So my name is Becky, or I'm Becky.
Exactly. Both are perfectly correct and sound completely natural. You can choose which one feels better for the situation. I'm is maybe just a little more relaxed.
Okay, good to know. But what if you have a long name, but people usually use a short name for you, like a nickname?
Yeah, that happens all the time in English-speaking places. There's a great phrase for that.
What is it?
You can say, my full name is long name, but people call me short name.
Okay, so you give both.
Mm-hmm. For instance, someone might say, my full name is Thomas, but people call me Tom.
Right, like my name, or
maybe, my name's Rebecca, but my friends call me Becky. Using my names, which is just short for my name is.
So, my full name is Thomas, but people call me Tom. Or, my name's Rebecca, but my friends call me Becky. That people call me part is really useful.
It is. It tells people what name you prefer them to use. It makes things feel a bit more personal, more friendly.
And we see this a lot, right? Like, Alexander often becomes Alex.
Yep. Or Catherine might be Kate or Kathy. Elizabeth could be Liz, Beth, Ellie. Lots of possibilities.
So it's good to know how to tell people your preferred name.
Definitely. And actually, that leads to a little cultural tip.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Well, in many English-speaking countries, like the US, UK, Australia, people often start using your short name or a more friendly name very quickly.
Right. Sometimes almost immediately after meeting you.
Yeah. And if you're not used to it, it might feel a bit maybe too informal or even rude.
I can see that.
But usually it's actually meant as a sign of friendliness. People are just trying to be, relaxed and make the conversation feel comfortable. It's not meant to be disrespectful.
Good point. So if someone calls you Tom right away instead of Thomas, they're probably just being friendly?
Exactly. It helps break the ice.
Okay, so that's names covered. What usually comes next in these getting to know you chats?
Well, very often the next question is about where you're from, your origin, or where you live.
The classic where you from question.
That's the one. It's another really common way to start a conversation and find out a bit more about someone. It shows interest.
So how do you answer that? Let's start simple.
The most basic way is just to say your country. The pattern is, I'm from country.
Okay, so you could say,
I'm from the United States, or I'm from Spain, or maybe I'm from Japan. Just the country.
Simple enough. I'm from country.
Yeah.
But can we make that a bit stronger, give a little more detail maybe?
Yes, absolutely. Often people add their city as well as the country. It gives a clearer picture.
How does that work?
You can use this pattern. I'm from city, it's in country.
Okay. So you connect the two, like,
I'm from Cairo, it's in Egypt.
or I'm from Tokyo, it's in Japan.
Exactly. Or maybe I'm from Rio de Janeiro, it's in Brazil. Or I'm from Nairobi, it's in Kenya. Even I'm from Toronto, it's in Canada.
That it's in part helps connect the city and country clearly.
It does. And sometimes if the country is very large, or maybe the city isn't super famous worldwide, you might even add the region.
Oh, like,
You could say something like, I'm from Munich, it's in the south of Germany. That gives even more specific information.
right, that adds extra clarity. Okay, so we have country only, or city and country. Is there another level? What if your story is a bit more complicated?
You mean like if you weren't born where you live now?
Yeah, exactly. Lots of people move around.
For sure. There's a great pattern for that too. It explains your history a little bit.
What's the pattern?
You say, I was born in place 1, but I live in place 2 now.
Okay, I was born in, but I live in now. That shows the change.
Precisely. So examples could be, I was born in Spain, but I live in Mexico now.
Or maybe something more general, like, I was born in a small town, but I live in a big city now.
Yep, that works too. It tells a little story about your life journey.
And what if you still live where you were born?
Then you can slightly change it. You could say, I was born in London and I still live in London today.
Got it. So these patterns help you explain different situations.
Exactly. And talking about where you're from, it often leads to more conversation. That's another cultural point.
How so?
Well, people often connect over places. If you say you're from, say, Italy.
Someone might say, oh, I love Italian food, or I visited Rome once.
Right. Or they might ask about the music or a famous landmark. It's a way people find common ground and keep the conversation flowing. Mentioning your origin often gives people something easy to talk about next.
That's true. A good way to build a connection. Okay, so name and where you're from. What's next on the list? Age.
Yep, age often comes up. The question is, how old are you?
Now, this one can be a little tricky sometimes, right? Especially with adults.
It can be, yeah. Asking a child their age is usually fine, very normal. But asking an adult, especially someone you've just met, can sometimes feel a bit personal in some cultures, including many English-speaking ones.
So maybe wait for the other person to bring it up or offer the information themselves.
That's often a safe approach with adults, yes. But it's still useful to know how to talk about your age if you want to, or if someone does ask.
Okay, so what's the basic way?
The full sort of official way is, I'm number years old.
Right.
I'm 40 years old, or I'm 28 years old.
Clear and complete. I'm number years old.
But just like with names, in casual chat, people often shorten it.
How do they shorten this one?
They just drop the years old part. It's very common.
You just say.
I'm number. That's it.
So instead of I'm 28 years old, you just say I'm 28.
Exactly. Or I'm 55. People understand from the context that you mean years old. It's quicker, more casual, happens right away.
Right away, meaning very quickly or immediately in the conversation.
Right.
But what if you don't really want to give your exact number? Maybe you feel it's too personal.
Ah, yes. There are ways to be less specific, kind of softer. You can talk about your general age range.
How's that work?
You use decades. The pattern is, I'm in my decades.
Okay, I'm in my 20s.
Exactly. So you could say, I'm in my 20s, or I'm in my 40s.
And in my 20s means you are somewhere between 20 and 29 years old.
That's right. And in my 40s means you could be 40, 41, maybe 45, even 49. It gives a general idea of your life stage without giving the exact number.
That seems really useful for adults who prefer a bit more privacy about their age.
It is, and you can actually be even more specific within that range if you want.
Oh, really? Like how?
Well, you can talk about timing. For example, if your birthday is coming soon, you might say, I'm almost 30.
Meaning you're probably 29?
Yep. Or if you just had a birthday, you could say, I just turned 18, meaning it happened recently.
Okay. And you mentioned being more specific within the decade.
Right. You can use words like early, mid, or late.
So you could say,
I'm in my early 30s. That usually means about 31, 32, maybe 33.
and late?
I'm in my late 40s, which suggests you're closer to 50, maybe 47, 48, 49.
And mid-30s.
Yeah, mid-30s would be around 34, 35, 36. It just gives a slightly clearer picture than just saying in my 30s.
Wow. Okay, so lots of options for talking about age, from very exact to quite general.
Exactly. You choose the level of detail you're comfortable with.
And just to repeat that cultural tip, asking adults their age directly can be sensitive, so maybe be cautious with that question. But asking kids or teenagers is usually totally fine.
That's a good summary. Okay, what's next? Family.
Yeah, let's talk about family. That's another topic that comes up a lot in, small talk or getting to know someone.
It is. People are often curious about your family situation.
And the key word here, A useful one is siblings, right?
Yes. Siblings just means your brothers and sisters together. It's a useful collective noun.
So what's the typical question?
Usually someone will ask, do you have brothers or sisters? Or maybe, do you have any siblings?
And the simple answers.
You can just say, yes, I have. Or, no, I don't have any siblings.
But you can give more detail, of course.
Oh, absolutely. You'd usually say how many and who they are. Like, yeah, I have one brother.
More?
Yeah, I have two sisters. Or maybe I have one brother and one sister.
Okay. And we can add more detail still, can't we? Like whether they're older or younger.
Yes. That adds a lot more information, actually. It tells people about your place in the family.
So instead of just, I have one brother, you could say.
Yeah, I have an older sister. Or yeah, I have one younger brother. Using older or younger gives more context.
Right. And what if you don't have any brothers or sisters at all?
Ah, there's a specific phrase for that. You say, I'm an only child.
I'm an only child. Okay, that clearly means no siblings.
Exactly. And knowing if someone has older or younger siblings, or if they're an only child, sometimes leads to another question about family position.
You mean like,
People might ask, are you the oldest? Or maybe, are you the youngest?
ah, right. Trying to figure out your order in the family.
Yeah. And the answers are pretty simple. You can say, I'm the oldest child, or I'm the middle child, or I'm the youngest.
Okay, oldest, middle, youngest. That's straightforward.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing related to family that often comes up is about your living situation now.
Ah, like who you live with.
Exactly. A common question is, do you live with your family?
And the answers could be.
Well, you might say, yeah, I live with my parents. Or maybe if you're married, yeah, I live with my husband, wife, and children.
Or if you don't live with family.
Then you might say, no, I live alone. Or another common way to say that is, no, I live on my own.
Live on my own just means live alone.
Yep, same meaning, just sounds quite natural. Or maybe you live with other people who aren't family.
Like roommates.
Right. So you could say, no, I live with friends.
Okay, so lots of ways to describe your family and living situation. It helps paint a fuller picture of who you are.
Definitely. It moves from just facts about you to your relationships and current life setup.
All right, so we've done name, origin, age, family. What's the really big one that people nearly always ask, especially adults?
Ah, you must mean work or studies.
Exactly. The classic question.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yes. This is probably one of the most common questions people ask when they first meet, especially in like North America or the UK.
It's a huge part of identity for many people. But first, we need to be really clear about what this question means, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this causes confusion.
Oh, absolutely. This is a super important point for learners. When someone asks, what do you do? They mean, what is your job? Or what do you study?
They do not mean.
They do not mean, what are you doing right now at this moment? That's a different question, like, what are you doing?
Right. So what do you do means job or studies. Got it. So how do you answer if you have a job?
The basic pattern is, I'm a job. Or I'm a job if the job starts with a vowel sound.
Okay. Examples.
I'm a teacher. I'm an engineer. I'm a nurse. I'm a doctor. You need the A or am.
I'm a teacher. Simple. But again, can we add more detail to make it more interesting?
Yes, and you probably should. Just saying the job title is okay, but adding a bit more context is better for conversation.
Like what kind of context?
Well, you could describe what you do in your job or where you work.
Okay, give me an example.
So instead of just, I'm a teacher, you could say, I'm a language teacher. I work with young learners and adults.
Ah, that tells us much more. Or for a doctor.
Maybe I'm a doctor, I work in a hospital. Or even, I'm a driver, I drive a taxi. Adding that little bit extra makes it clearer and more engaging.
Okay, but what if? What if someone doesn't have a job right now? How can they answer, what do you do? Politely.
Good question. There are a few polite ways to handle that. You don't just have to say, I don't have a job, which can feel a bit blunt.
So what are the options?
You could say something like, I'm looking for a job right now. This sounds active and positive.
Okay, I'm looking for a job. What else?
A very common and polite phrase is, I'm between jobs.
I'm between jobs. What does that imply?
It suggests that the situation is temporary, that you had a job before and you expect to have one again soon. It sounds quite professional.
It's a good one. Any others? What about people who work at home looking after the family?
Yes, there are phrases for that too. You could say, I'm a homemaker, or I stay at home with my children. These describe that important role.
Okay, great. So those cover not having a paid job currently. What about students? How do they answer, what do you do?
Students have a few options too. The simplest is just, I'm a student.
But you can add detail there too, right?
Definitely. You'd usually say what you study. So, I'm a student, I study subject.
Like, I'm a student, I study English, or I study engineering.
Exactly. And you can also say where you study.
How would that sound?
I study at Oxford University.
Yeah.
Or, I study at the local high school. Mentioning the place gives context.
And what if you finish studying? It's in the past.
Then you use the past tense. I studied English at university. Or, I studied law. That tells people about your education background.
Okay. And one more situation, lots of people study and work, right?
Very true. Especially students who have part-time jobs.
So how would they combine that?
They can just mention both. For example, I study business and I also work in a shop.
Or maybe, I'm a student, but I have a part-time job in a cafe.
Perfect. It shows you're doing both things.
Okay, so what do you do? It's a big question with lots of possible answers depending on your situation: job, looking for work, student, working at home.
Exactly. And often after you answer what do you do, people might ask follow-up questions.
Right, likewise.
They might ask, where do you work?
And you could answer.
I work in a secondary school. Or I work for a tech company.
Or maybe, do you like your job?
Yeah, that's common. Simple answers work fine. Yeah, I do. Or maybe, it's okay, but sometimes it's difficult.
Or if you said you were a student, they might just confirm. Are you a student?
And you'd say, yeah, I am. I study economics. Or whatever your subject is.
So work and study are key topics for introducing yourself.
Definitely central to how people often understand each other in a new meeting.
Okay, we've covered a lot. Name, where you're from, age, family, work, or study. Is there anything else that's useful for introducing yourself?
Well, sometimes conversations go a little deeper, and you might talk about your personality. You know, what kind of person you are.
Ah, okay. Making the introduction a bit more personal, less about just facts.
Exactly. It helps people get a better feel for who you are, makes the conversation warmer. And you don't need complicated words. Simple adjectives are usually best.
So what's the basic way to describe your personality?
It follows the same simple pattern we've seen before. I'm adjective,
Like?
I'm friendly, or I'm shy, or maybe I'm hardworking, or even I'm funny. Just simple words describing you.
Let's think about some useful positive ones. Friendly means you like talking to people, you're open.
Yep. Hardworking means you put effort into things, you try your best.
What about helpful?
Helpful means you like to help other people. And kind means you care about others, you're nice.
So you could combine them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm friendly and patient.
Sure, or I like listening to people. That describes an action that shows your personality too.
Okay. What about other ways to describe yourself? Maybe energy levels or your general style?
Yeah, you could talk about whether you're active, maybe you like sports or doing things, or more relaxed.
Or maybe if you're serious, you think carefully about things versus easygoing. What's easygoing mean?
Easygoing means you're relaxed, not easily stressed or worried. Pretty flexible.
That's a good one. Any others?
Maybe positive, you try to see the good side of things.
Hmm.
Or open-minded, meaning you're willing to listen to new ideas or different opinions.
So you could maybe describe yourself like, I'm curious. I like learning new things.
Perfect. Or, I'm also a little quiet sometimes. It's okay to mention something like that too. Makes it sound real.
Now, you mentioned earlier that what do you do can be confusing. Is there a tricky question related to personality too?
Ah, yes, there is. It's very common and it confuses so many learners.
What's the question?
The question is, what do you like?
What do you like? Okay, why is that tricky?
Because it sounds very similar to what do you like, which is about preferences, hobbies, food, music, etc.
But what do you like? Doesn't mean that at all, does it?
Not at all. This is really crucial. What are you like means, what is your personality? Describe your character.
So if someone asks you, what do you like? You should not start talking about pizza or football,
Definitely not. You should answer with adjectives describing your personality.
like the ones we just discussed.
Exactly. So if someone asks, what are you like? Benny, you'd answer, I'm friendly and patient. Or, I'm shy but curious.
Okay, that's a really important difference to remember. What do you like is personality. What do you like is preferences.
Got it in one. And sometimes, especially in more formal situations, like maybe a job interview, people might ask this in a slightly different way.
How else might they ask about personality?
They might say, how would you describe yourself?
How would you describe yourself? That sounds quite formal.
It is, yeah. And in that situation, you'd usually answer with maybe 2 or 3 positive qualities, probably ones related to work or study.
So you might say,
I'm hardworking, creative, and reliable. Something that sounds professional and positive.
Okay, so describing personality adds that final personal touch to an introduction.
It really does. It helps people connect with you as a person beyond just the facts.
Wow, okay. We actually covered quite a bit there, all the key pieces for introducing yourself.
We have. Let's maybe do a quick recap. Just run through the main topics we talked about.
Good idea. So first we talked about saying your name.
Using my name is, or the more casual I'm, and how to mention nicknames using people call me.
Right. Then we moved on to where you were from.
Saying your country, I'm from, or city and country, I'm from city, it's in country, or explaining if you were born somewhere else, I was born in, but I live in.
Then came age, with all those options from the exact number, I'm 28, to the general range, I'm in my 20s, or using early late.
And remembering to be a bit careful asking adults their age directly.
Then family siblings. I have one older brother. I'm an only child. Your position, I'm the youngest. And living situation. I live with my parents. I live alone.
Next up was the big one, work and study, answering, what do you do?
Saying your job, I'm a teacher. Or if you're looking, I'm between jobs. Or if you're a student, I study engineering. And adding details about where or what.
And making sure you don't confuse what do you do with what are you doing.
Crucial point.
Yeah.
And finally, we touched on describing your personality using simple adjectives. I'm friendly, I'm hardworking, and understanding the question, what are you like?
That covers the main building blocks for a good self-introduction in English.
And the main thing to remember, really, is that you don't need long, complicated sentences for this.
Not at all. Short, simple sentences are perfect. The key is saying them with confidence.
And practice definitely makes it easier, right? The more you use these phrases, the more natural they'll feel.
Absolutely. So we really encourage you listening to practice these today, maybe with a friend or in your English class.
Or even just practice in front of a mirror. Say the phrases out loud about yourself.
Great idea. Get used to the sound of saying them in English.
Well, thank you so much for spending this time with us here at Real English Voices. We hope these phrases and patterns are helpful for you.
Yeah, remember, learning takes time, but practicing a little bit every day makes a huge difference.
Definitely. So just before we finish, maybe we can give you a few quick practice questions. You can try answering them right now out loud or in your head.
Good idea. A little test. Okay, question 1. What is your name?
Pause. Try saying, my name is, or I'm.
Okay, question 2. Where are you from?
Pause. Remember, I'm from, or I was born in, but I live in.
Question 3. Are you a student, or do you have a job?
Pause. Think about how to answer what do you do using I'm or I study, or maybe I'm looking for a job.
And final question. How would you describe yourself? Try using just one simple adjective.
Pause. Like I'm friendly, or I'm quiet, or I'm curious.
Great. We hope you could answer those. Keep practicing them.
Yeah, keep learning, keep practicing, and believe in yourself. You can do it.
Definitely. Thanks for listening, everyone.
See you next time.